Let's go with some power rankings. This is something that I know we love to do. We love to kind of, go back and forth, argue, and I got a little bit more of a mix-up this week. So
okay.
I'm excited for this.
You start this time.
I'm gonna start this time.
All
And
right.
what I'm really excited about the power rankings, though, is like the first couple of weeks, it was like the same 5 teams. And we went through there with the same kind of. Now it's getting interesting.
Yeah,
Right? You're still having these teams, but teams are getting hotter and hotter, and you're starting to see some true contenders. There's around 50 games left in the year, and this is the time that we truly do love about baseball.
There's a few teams for sure that are really starting to either pull away or fall back.
Yes. Team that I have as number 1 shouldn't be a surprise from anybody. They've been number 1 for probably the most weeks in the entire year is the LA Dodgers.
Boom.
I imagine you agree with me.
Yes, sir.
The boom. 75-33, 9-1 in their last 10. They've been 9-1 in their last 10. We go back to watch all
saying
these
it, but it's true.
It's true. It seems like every time we talk about this, 9-1, they're on an 8-game winning streak, plus 226 run differential, which is now the best in baseball. They've only given up 345 runs, scored 571. They're getting healthy, playing great ball. Everybody in baseball should be scared about the Dodgers because for the last couple of weeks, it was Yankees, Aaron Judge, Yankees. Well, the Dodgers just won. Then they won. And maybe it's obviously different. We're on the East Coast, but we still follow all of baseball, and nobody's talking about how good these Dodgers really are. They're, in my opinion, if the season ended today and there was a playoff, I don't think anybody's beating the Dodgers
right now. No.
Nope.
There's one team that would be close, but one or two close. But I agree with you.
Yep, they're built, and the reason I say that because the playoffs are a grind for these teams with the longer series and everything that's going on. So I'm saying they are the team that are built to make a playoff run. And I don't, in a series, good luck trying to beat them in a 7-game series. So I got them as number 1. We do agree, which probably isn't going to go there. My number 2. The Mets.
Ooh,
I got the Mets.
I do too.
Oh, wow. We're agreeing. I thought we were going to, anyways, 70-39 plus 111 run differential. They've 412 runs against, but I'm going to tell you, since DeGrom, Scherzer, and the boys are back, they are a much different team. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're on a 3-game winning streak in a huge series against the Braves at the time of the recording. They have opened up a 6.5-game lead, which it was just 2, I believe, last week. Braves are a great team too, and they definitely handled business. Mm-hmm. Philly again in they're 9.5, and it's really only Mets, Braves, Phillies in that division. I mean, Miami is 20.5 back. Washington's 34.5 back. So they're pretty much all but done. But either way, Philly 9-1 in their last 10. They need to be looked at a little bit. But right now, Mets, second best team in my opinion in baseball playing right now.
I agree. Mets. We already said it. DeGrom. Go back to LA real quick. Remember a couple weeks ago, San Diego was like 1.5 games behind LA.
They were close.
They are now 15.5.
Wow.
Anyways, number 3.
Number 3, I went with the Astros.
Me too.
This is ridiculous. Again, ridiculous.
Crazy.
All right, and the reason they did drop for me is obviously they are still 70-40. Great baseball team, still playing good. They're just in one of those 5-5 streaks. They've played some great opponents, still 126 run differential, giving up 360 runs, 2-game losing streak. That happens in baseball, even with the good teams. They still have Verlander, who you had a cool stat about, a whole bunch of money because he hit 130 innings.
130 innings, just picking up a cool $25 million option if he so wants to.
Yeah. I mean, a guy that didn't even play baseball last year is one of the best pitchers in the game this year.
Again,
they're just a scary team. A little bit of some scary news, though. Brantley, they're not sure if he's even going to come back this year, which is a big piece of that. I mean,
good hitter.
Great hitter, great player. And but either way, I got them as 3. So number 4, I got to throw it in there. I got to throw the Yankees sliding down to 4. They're going to do the me too.
Yeah. I'm kind of in between, but yes, I'm going with the Yankees at 4, although I want to put them lower because they've lost 5 in a row.
Yes.
And it's great. And all of a sudden they are vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Not that vulnerable, but they can be beat. They just got smoked by the Cardinals. But of course, the Cardinals are a good team. If the Yankees are doing this against under 500 teams, then this is a completely different conversation. But the Cardinals are kind of an inspired team at the moment, and they're playing well. Good teams beat good teams lose other good teams. Yep. Yankees are not awful by any means, but there is cause for concern.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everything they do is, under scrutiny in baseball, but they're going to Seattle early in the week. They're playing a pretty good Seattle team who just, had a really good stretch. So then they have a game with Toronto or 2. And it's a weird series I think coming up, but no, Tampa, I believe. Tampa, then Toronto, I do believe. Then the Mets for a 2-game series. So a lot of good baseball coming up. And again, the Yankees 70-39, 4-6 in their last 10. They are in a 5-game losing streak, which obviously I think it's to be expected. You just added a ton of new players into your lineup. there is going to be some chemistry. There's some feeling out who hits where, who plays where, how do these guys get along with each other. It's to be, and we even talked about on the show, you're going to add a lot of new people. Yankees are going to lose some games, but they're still so far ahead. They're 9.5 games above Toronto again here, 11.5 Tampa, 13.5 to Baltimore. Good for you, Orioles fans. So it's to be expected, but I guess we'll see when you come back next week if they figure it out. Again, Yankees are 4 for me.
Yep. Yankees are 4 for me. Aaron Judge had a regular week. I think he had 1 home run this week in the last 7 days, whatever, right?
Yep.
He's still fine. But the Yankees have gone, and I think will go the rest of the year as Aaron Judge does. If he's not hitting massive home runs, if he's not super hot like he was for a month, then they're going to struggle.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, Montaz was terrible. I mean, his debut was
not
rough.
good.
Love it. Great trade, Yankees. All right, my number 5. And I know what you're going to go with because I went with the Cardinals. I went with the Cardinals.
Okay.
You're not going to be mad about it, but they're 9-1. They're on a 7-game win streak, plus 84 run differential. On paper, they're just better than your Jays right now. 60-48. They have the same record, in my opinion. If the two were to meet, I like the Cards right now only because Springer's a little beat up with the Cards, and you never really know what some of the pitchers are going to do. But either way, I went with the Cards as number 5.
Okay. I do not disagree with you. However, me being a Jays fan and the Cardinals, my grandfather's team, I follow them. I actually have Atlanta.
Whoa. Didn't see that coming.
Right.
Okay.
I have Atlanta. Although they're 5-5, lost 3 in a row to the Mets, to a really hot team. I was kind of in between Atlanta and Toronto. I'll give it to Atlanta this week. I watched Toronto botch a game in Minnesota, and yesterday they maybe not should have won. It was a tie game anyways. When that bad call happened. So I'll give it to Atlanta. I think the Cardinals are also a really good pick, though. They are playing well. I mean, the big 12-9 game against New York, that's not a good game for either team. Pitching-wise, hey, they all scored runs. 16-48 for St. Louis. Atlanta 64-46. Toronto 60-48. You know, either team could all be right there. I don't mind your pick.
No. Good. Well, all right. Well, there's less dramatic than I thought, but either way, honorable mentions: Padres, Jays, Braves, Brewers. Those are going to be in my opinion, top 9-10 teams in baseball for the rest of the year. They've kind of, ran away from the pack, and we'll just see how the rest of them shake up next week with our power rankings. So make sure you come back for that.